Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Farming Simulator 22 as we continue our Feed My Kins run here on Zielonka. Just finished up mowing. So we'll get you folded up and get you dropped off somewhere besides the little pin over there. Hopefully, I don't know, we might put you over here by the tree or something. It should work just fine. And then I need to address something in just a moment. We had a mishap. I had a mishap. I had to reload a previous save. I lost about 15 minutes, I think. And so, because I lost 15 minutes, let me teleport over to my other tractor. I lost the other seeder that we just bought. It did not come back up on the used lot after the reload and the skipping the month. Because it reloaded. I had to reload back in March. When I moved over to April, all that came up on the used lot was stuff that we don't care about. I mean, the Vario here is nice, but not necessary. So we didn't get to the seeder, which is fine. We'll get by with this seeder. It's not a big deal. So that's why we have more money than we had at the end of the last episode. So not a big deal. Only lost a few minutes. It's not the end of the world by any stretch. I mean, if anything, it does mean that tractor, the smaller tractor, can run the other seeder. Not great. It only runs it at 9 miles an hour as opposed to 11, but it still helps us multitask a little bit better. Obviously, that smaller tractor was having trouble with the mower, and this tractor can run the mower. So I think at the end of the day, it's probably to our benefit to have that go back to that seeder to some degree. Although, I mean, I would have been fine either way, honestly. If we'd kept the seeder or lost it, it doesn't really matter too much. All right, we got to get ready for some corn. Oh yeah, this is when we're going to test to see if we actually do need a plow or not, because supposedly this thing can plow. can see directly, right? I don't think we've actually come to the conclusion whether or not this will work. So we're about to find out. Have I already figured this out? I actually don't remember now. Maybe I have already figured it out. And it does work. Okay, I think in retrospect, I feel like maybe we... No, this is only our first load of corn, isn't it? Or is it our second? I don't remember. You guys will have to remind me. My memory's not great. I mean, it's not that my memory's not great. I am running more than one save right now, so sometimes I forget what I'm doing where. But it does definitely work without the actual plowing. Is it giving us credit for plowing? That's probably the bigger deal. Do we get credit for the need? No, we don't. So the yield is not going to be perfect. Okay. In that case, we do need to stop this. We need to run the plow because we don't want to lose out on yield, right? Yeah, it's going to say right here, needs plowing. Alrighty, well then, not a big deal. It's going to delay us a little bit. It's not the absolute end of the world. But we'll get the plowing done. I mean, for you guys, it's not going to make any difference whatsoever because you guys are not going to see a single blip or anything of delay. I'll get it all taken care of. And you guys will just... I'll skip along at some point and all will go well. Does mean at some point I wouldn't mind getting a better subsoiler. Quite a bit bigger one, obviously. I mean, we do have money right now. Tempted to grab one now. I mean, it is a pretty big jump in price to move up to some of these other ones. I say that... Oh, that was only 3 meters. Okay. So, yeah, the one we get right now is this one. Yeah. Which is 4 meters, 7 miles an hour. I mean, the only good one would be this 8-meter one, which is considerably more expensive. The other options would be to go with the actual plow, which are also kind of, honestly, not super cheap at the end of the day. And then I think not this harrow. I think is the power harrow? No. The spader? It's a spader. Okay. Which again, not really worth it based on the speed and everything else. So I think we go subsoiler. Do we just go ahead and grab this? I mean, it is not cheap, but it will double or basically make us cut everything in. Oh, it's not the strength. The power is going to be too much for us. Never mind. All right, we'll go with this one. It's not ideal, but it'll get the job done. I'll just put on a Netflix movie and I'll just chill while we're waiting for this thing to do its thing. All right, cool. Actually, I'll probably watch some YouTube. There's I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but I watch a YouTube channel called Cracking the Cryptic, and they do a lot of variant Sudoku puzzles. So not your normal just numbers in a grid Sudoku. It's actual like lots. I mean, it's hard to explain, but there's lots of different variant rules to get to like filling out a Sudoku grid or even other puzzles of a similar nature. I've been watching them for a while now, so lots and lots of fun. If you like puzzles, I definitely recommend them. Cracking the Cryptic. They are lots of fun to watch. Anyway, at least for me, at least. Let's see. You're almost done here, which means we can pick up. I did go ahead and grab a tedder and a windrower, so we can get the hay going here in just a bit. So we'll let this guy finish up, and we'll go grab those while this guy's doing whatever he's doing. Gonna take a while, but that's okay. So we can technically plant the corn, but I think we do take a penalty. Don't remember how much of a penalty. Does it tell us here? Doesn't say there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's actually not that much of a... I mean, I can always turn that off too if I really cared. We'll get it done. Not a big deal. All right, let's go grab the tedder. Should actually go pretty quick. Tedder goes nice and fast, and then we'll get everything else done. Should only have to do it. Well, actually, we're gonna have to do a hay probably every 2 mows, right? I was gonna skip a mow and then do double next, but honestly, this first year we might do all 3 as hay. Come to think of it. So, but I do need to. I needed to go ahead and bale now because we'll run out of food if I don't. But normally, what I would do is I'd probably skip a round so that we can do a double mow then bale later. All right, so you're doing your thing. You are... Yeah, that's it. All right, let me go ahead and put a little skip in here. I'll bring you guys back once we're probably done with the tedding at least, and we'll go from there. All right, we're back. Just finished the tedding. I'll get this dropped off, and we'll go grab our windrower. Then we'll be able to bale. I'm sitting here trying to decide if I want to buy a slurry spreader, because we do have slurry, right? If we come over here, we do have a decent amount of slurry. Oh wow, what is the oh, it's our weight. I was like, what is damaged? The weight is damaged. I don't think it matters. I can't imagine it's just suddenly not a weight anymore because it's damaged. We do have, what was I looking for? Cows. We have a good chunk of slurry, right? I mean, between slurry and manure, you can do a good job of getting some good fertilization done with cows, but it is 2 more pieces of equipment that you have to get, right? And often that's just not worth it at the end of the day. Probably just better just to let it just exist. I don't think it maxing out a slurry affects anything. I can't remember. I mean, it probably should, but I don't think it actually does. For some reason, I cannot back up straight. That's all right. We'll make it work. All right, you're about halfway done over here on the subsoiling. So how much do the slurries, tanks, and things cost? I mean, a very basic one is, I mean, it's not that expensive. It doesn't hold much, and it goes very, very quickly. But it would technically save us some silage. I mean, the better slurry setups are the ones that have the little sprayers that come out the back, things like that. Which, I mean, the cheapest one of those would be probably that combo, or I've used this one quite a bit in the past. So one of those would probably be the best combination. It's just, I just don't know that it's worth it, right? At the end of the day. And then a manure spreader. Again, we can get a really, I mean, that's the one that's technically, I think, for grapes, but we can get a really cheap one for 30 grand here, it looks like. It's not much. It's not much, but it's just, is it worth the hassle, you know? We still end up having to spray. How much spraying would we have to do? Like, let's maybe the better way to put it into perspective is how much a liquid fertilizer would it cost to pay for, what was it, about $50,000? So if we come over here to pallets and look at fertilizer, that's 10, almost 20 containers, right? 15 to 20, which is, you know, 30, 40,000 liters of liquid fertilizer before we break even on that aspect. And we're still gonna have to put liquid fertilizer on top of it anyway, because neither the, it's very unlikely that either the slurry or the manure is going to top off your crop perfectly, right? So there's still an element of needing to do the other aspect of it anyway. Yeah, I just can't see. I can't see that. It takes several years for that to be worth it. By the time, really, dude. By the time it was worth it, we'd probably be long past the cow phase of our operation, and so then it's like, what's the point? I mean, arguably, we would be leasing these instead of buying them. So I guess from that perspective, I mean, it doesn't cost us much to lease it, right? Even if we were just to keep it, it really doesn't cost us much to keep it or to lease it. So that definitely becomes a little bit more worthwhile, because the cost of leasing both of those things for, you know, a month or so is one of these. Still, I just don't think it's, I think it's just better just to ignore it altogether at this point. Can also sell them if we just get containers as opposed to actually spreaders. We could grab a, you know, this would work, and then any of the, like these tanks right here would work. But again, it takes several thousand liters, many thousands of liters for it to be valuable enough. In fact, we can actually probably look at the stock check, and I bet it'll tell us how much our slurry is worth. Yeah, the 27,000 liters of slurry that we have right now is worth $1,000. So it's just not worth it, you know? It's not worth the hassle. You guys might have different opinions, different mileage, whatever, but in my opinion, there's certain things in this particular game that are just not worth the hassle. Just streamline a little bit more and ignore a few things. All right, I'll be right back once we're done with a little bit more of this stuff that we're doing right now. All right, almost done with the plowing. Also, almost done with the windrowing. So we'll get these tractors switched over to their next things in just a moment. Starting with this guy, of course. I could definitely see a world where you want to go ahead and grab field 53 here. And like I said, rotate corn and oats for a few years. I mean, it's only going to be a couple years, but it could be to our benefit in a lot of ways. And actually, there's other reasons why we might want that extra field anyway. Partly because it just annoys me that it exists and it's not ours, right? It's here. Why shouldn't it be ours? What is currently planted on there? Carrots. I mean, we'd have to plow under the carrots, right? Because we don't need the carrots. Not at this stage. It's tempting. Very tempting. Does it need plowing? It does not need plowing. So we could actually just plant like either corn or oats directly onto there. Most likely we would start with oats because oats is the one that is we ran out of first this last time. So that's definitely very tempting, guys. I like the idea of just, you know, continuing to grow our farm, you know, ability to, you know, whatever, our not just buying equipment, right? But also buying more land is just part of just growing the farm and making it better. So I'm definitely leaning towards that right now. I know the field is very cheap because all the fields on this map are relatively cheap compared to some of the other maps. It is a whole $20,000. It is hard to say no to that because I think we would definitely make up $20,000 very quickly with I mean, maybe not the extra cereal we get right away because it just wouldn't be that much extra cereal, but by the second year it would absolutely pay for itself and then some. I mean, really the biggest cost of that field is the time it would take to do a little bit more planting and harvesting and things. We get a free cycle here in a moment, as in we have a piece of equipment that's available while we're still doing other things. There's a very good chance I will go ahead and just get that rolling. More than likely what we will do in the future is we will do 2 mowings, then Ted, then windrow, and then bale, and then 1 mowing and wind, you know, already with the windrowing turned on, and turn that into silage. And I think that'll be a perfect cycle every year. This first year, like I said, I need to get some hay right now so that we have some for the cows here coming up. And we still got a load right there, but I don't know that we'd be able to make it 3 more months before we need some more hay. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and be happy that we went ahead and did this cycle. It's 1 extra cycle that I didn't, you know, might not normally have to do going forward, but it'll be all right. Somebody suggested that I do clothes for this run, which, you know, I get the clothes idea for sure. Don't get me wrong. I do like the idea of just keeping it maintained on feed my kids as opposed to clothe my kids. But I think that's a pretty cool idea, right? Doing some sheep or doing some cotton or both, honestly, and kind of getting some clothing set up, stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe some sort of idea for a future run. I do like the idea, because of how much it took to set up the cows, of when we switch over to potato chips, doing like chocolate. My kids love chocolate candy, you know? And because then we can keep the cows going for a little bit longer, get a little more value out of the cows than what we're getting just from the first few months. And then, so potato chips, chocolate. I'm trying to think of something else that we could combine. I think I thought of something the other day and I don't remember now. I mean, I could go look at the products real quick because now I'm curious. We can feed him sunflowers. I'm just kidding. What would it be? I mean, we could just do sugar, but sugar, we're gonna need sugar for the chocolate anyway, right? So, no. I mean, cake. No, I'm already doing cakes on another run. I mean, bread, butter, stuff like that. Cheese, could work, but not really fitting the vibe that I'm looking for. Honestly, I think it is just chocolate and potato chips. At least that's still 3 things that we would need to make, right? Because we would need to make the oil. Well, actually, several things. We need the oil for the and the potatoes for the potato chips, and then we would need sugar and obviously all the milk stuff for the cows. So that's actually still pretty heavy load of crops, right? I thought about moving farms after a few years just to change things up, because there's a couple other farms on the map that are pretty cool, like the one down here and the one up here. They look nice, but I mean, this one up here would make the most sense just because of the shape of the fields. It's very convenient. The one down here, I don't know if I like the way these fields are laid out as much, but I mean, we can still make it work. At the end of the day, though, I kind of like where we're at. I think we just stay where we're at and just enjoy what we're doing as it is. I think we got enough other things going on, changing farm locations and trying to get everything reset back up on a new farm location. Probably is a little bit ambitious. Or the worker completed their task. Assuming I'm gonna need to fix a couple spots. Yeah, looks, you can barely see it, but we know that this spot is a spot that he misses a lot. So we will get this little spot over here real quick. All right, and like I said, I think we're gonna do the oats as our crop of choice. Oh, trying to swing around that pole and went a little too fast. Hey, out of my way, car. I think we'll do oats because I think oats is, like I said, the thing they're going to need we're the furthest behind on right now. Really? What is keeping you from driving up this little bit? Oh, there's like a little spit on the wheel there. That's strange. Can I just brute force it? I mean, is this just a matter of apply a little bit more horsepower? No, it's not. What? I did not. That's weird. Can we get up over here? Yeah, the ledge is gone over here. Okay. I did not realize this to get a little bit on the wheel. Little funny. Like we can get up here though, right? Barely. I can aim it. Aim it for the gap, right? All right, there we go. That is done. We'll get the guy set back up for the oats. And we'll get that planted because I think this is a really good idea. Just to make sure we get the maximum value out of our cereal factory now that we've got it all rolling. Really, the only other thing would, again, be the honey. But I think the honey's going to be fine this time around. All right, let's go ahead and buy this field. I think it's worth the money. And get rid of the carrots. And we were planning on getting a bigger harvester this time around anyway, so it'll go pretty quickly, I think. All right, looks like that is going just fine. I mean, even with the cows and all the leasing items and, you know, the extra loan we had to take out for the cows, I think we're still going to be very profitable. I could be wrong, but I feel like we're going to be okay. Because we haven't even sold milk yet, right? Now, I don't think this is as profitable as the baby food was before. That felt very profitable, but I think it's still going to be pretty good. Yeah, I'm happy that we got the extra field. Even field 50 would be an interesting one to add in at some point if we felt like we had enough need for it. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could go 50-51 with oats and 53-54 with corn or something like that, but I don't know that we need to go that far just yet. Again, it kind of goes back to the honey thing. Unless I set up a whole nother set of honey, we're going to be short on honey either way. All right, that is that. I'll just grab the Bronco to pick these up real quick. Wish my Bronco sounded like that. My wife sounds like that. I actually put an aftermarket dual exhaust on her Bronco, but mine does not sound quite that cool yet. Maybe someday I'll get me a nifty, cool little dual exhaust, you know, make it all sound nice. I mean, it'll never be a V8, obviously. And I know that from personal experience. Still miss my Mustang. Someday I'll get another one. But, it's still such a fun vehicle. Twin turbo. Oh, so good. All right, well, I'm going to pick up the rest of the bales of hay off here, probably get some more of that seeding done, and I'll bring you guys back next time, probably around about when it's ready to fast forward, because we're looking pretty good. We got all of our products for this stage of my children's growth rocking and rolling. We got the grape juice, we got the cereal, and we got the milk. It's all there, so now it's just rinse and repeat, make some money for a few years, and kind of go from there. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.